'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, except for a mouse. That mouse was a-moving all over the files, all that transparency, all those denials. The signing statements that Barack said were wrong, he's now using wildly and still going strong. His war in Afghanistan he's enlarged with a fervor. So much money it takes to implement murder. American torture, which we call a fake name, makes some feel better. Now that's quite insane. The continued rendition with no change by Obama puts people in prison without trial or honor. The Afghani children were all snug in their beds till one of our drones blew off all of their heads. Their screams and their cries could be heard on the ground, but 2 miles above them you can't hear a sound. And Michelle and her J-Crew and Barack and his Gap had just settled down for a quick power nap. When out on the front lawn there rose such a clatter, Barack sprang from his bed to see what was the matter. The homeless and jobless were all over the place, asking for handouts with so little grace. You see, all the bankers Barack had paid trillions were hoarding the green stuff with no help for the millions. The homes in foreclosure, the small business that failed, had no one to turn to, no bankers in jail. Then all of a sudden Barack's vision became clearer, and the voice of Christmas past was sounding so nearer. There was Cheney on torture and George W. with his goat, a little book he had been reading when that 9/11 news broke. Those buildings came down in a controlled demolition. It sure looked for certain that it was by our very own volition. The evidence is out there, but Bush kept us busy, blowing up Iraq so he didn't look like a sissy. But if the shoe fits, his dad was a bit wimpy. Why not kill hundreds of thousands to prove you're not limpy? While Bush was the driver so lively and quick, one knew in a moment it must be a trick. More rapid than missiles, Barack's problems they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Iraq and Afghanistan, now health corporations, now big pharma's deals and Wall Street's vibrations. On terrorism, the war without end. We'll kill everyone to have the Pentagon win. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, blast away, smash away all. So up on the rooftop, the missiles they flew, all full of cluster bombs and McChrystal there too. As Barack drew his head in and was turning around, down the chimney McChrystal came with a bound. With post-traumatic syndrome and all turned around, McChrystal thought he had just hit the ground, and seeing a dark guy right up in his face, he grabbed him and twisted, then backed up in disgrace. A stump of a hookah pipe he held tight in his teeth, a present from the CIA. It couldn't be beat. Just then McChrystal, high as a kite, climbed back to the rooftop. He wasn't so bright. He sprang to his copter, rotating in space. Then he realized that the White House buffet must have been laced. Too late to be clever, too late for a whistle. He fell off the rooftop like the down of a thistle. But I heard Michelle exclaim, her denial gave me such fright.
Happy Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.